guys, welcome to the Friday Waffle, and it is actually Friday. Now, before you think I've moved into a bigger games room, no, I'm actually in the kitchen tonight. My wife's going up to bed and it is quite late, so I thought I'd just record it down here. So anyway, yep, I hope you all had a nice Christmas and New Year. I mean, it's one of these things, the build up to the whole thing seems to go on and on and on and on and on and on, and then before you know it, Christmas Day is over. Then you've got the few days in between Christmas and New Year, which is always a wee bit awkward. There's nothing to do, your skin, the weather's shite. I mean, I was actually off, and then you've got New Year itself. Now, Hogmanay in my house, my wife was actually working, she was working night shift. So my daughter Ava and myself, what did we watch? We watched a film, I can't remember what it was. You know, I can't even remember, it must have been that good, but we watched a film in Hogmanay. Went to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning, so yeah, it was all very, very quiet in the Stewart household. So I was back to work on Tuesday this week, and it's been pretty busy. Now, as much as I wasn't looking forward to going back to work, I always quite like just kind of getting back to normal. You know, I mean, when I was off virtually right through, sort of from Christmas Eve right through to the 5th, I think it was, 5th of January. I did work one day right enough, but you're lying in your bed, you're doing nothing. I mean, I wasn't getting up till 11 o'clock most days, and it's a complete waste of time. You know, by the time you get up, half the day's gone. You know, so you really don't make the best use of the time. So as much as I kind of enjoyed it, I'm quite glad to kind of get back to normal. So yeah, 2016, I wonder what this year's going to bring us. It's so true, the older you get, the quicker time seems to fly in. You know, it's just absolutely mental. So I've not got a great deal to talk about, excuse me, gaming wise, video gaming wise, what have I been doing? I have been playing, I think I mentioned before, I got myself Batman Asylum or whatever it is for the Xbox One. I've been playing quite a bit of that. I'm saying quite a bit of that, I'm probably like 5% into it, but really good, really enjoying that. What else? I was watching a video, one of the guys was playing FIFA 15 on the Xbox One. He's playing it on Twitch actually, and you know what, I'm not, as much as I do like football games, video football games, the last football game that I really played would probably be, I'm guessing Pro Evolution Soccer on the PlayStation 2, I think it was. I think it was Pro Evolution Soccer 2, I think that was the last football game I really played. I've kind of dabbled in the FIFAs, and I think the problem for me is there's just too many bloody buttons. I mean, if you try and play it simple, I always end up getting absolutely whipped, getting my arse handed to me when I play it. So I kind of don't get involved with football games, but I was watching, I was watching this guy playing FIFA, and I thought to myself, you know, it looks, I mean, the graphics have come on so much now. It really does look like, you know, you're watching something for real. It's incredible. I think the biggest thing is the crowds. You know, before the crowd scene were just kind of random people jumping up and down. Now each kind of individual person in the crowd is individually rendered and is moving, you know, independently. It's really incredible looking. But anyway, so I thought to myself, I'm going to see how much FIFA 15 is. So my daughter, she was going up to the shops, and I said to her, look, go into CEX, have a look for me, see how much FIFA 15 is, because I knew FIFA 15, as you know, the FIFA games always come out the year before the actual date of it. So FIFA 15 came out last year, and obviously FIFA 16 came out this year. So she phoned me back and says, yep, I've got FIFA 15 here for you, Dad. And it's like, how much is it? £3. £3. So she bought it for me, and absolutely fantastic. I mean, the new one is, I don't know, £45, something like that, £45. And I mean, I think the reason, I don't know what it is, why do FIFA games depreciate so much? If it's not FIFA games, it's wrestling games. But I mean the FIFA, I was on the CX myself a couple of days ago, and yeah, FIFA 15 was £3. FIFA 14, yeah, 2014 was £1.50. It's just mental. Now, unless you're really, you know, desperate to have the latest players, I mean, I'm guessing the biggest chunk of money on the FIFA license, I mean, at the end of the day, they've got the same engine, they obviously tweak it slightly, they put a few more bits and pieces in, but the biggest chunk of money, I'm guessing, is probably paying for the licenses for the real players. You know, that won't be cheap. So, but if you're not really too fussed on having the bang up to date players like myself, then yeah, £3 will bag you a year-old FIFA. So absolutely superb. So that's that. Anything else, gaming wise? Yeah, I've been playing this. I've been playing the Xbox One a fair bit. I've been downloading some of the Xbox 360 games for it. I've also been, there's also a front end, excuse me, there's a front end that's come out, what the hell is it called? I can't even remember the name of it. And it's basically, it's a front end for your PC, and it allows you to basically have all your games, whether it's PC games, Steam, Origin, all your emulators, all your PC stuff, your DOS games, your SNES emulators, your Mega Drive, your MAME, you can put everything into this front end. It's really nice. I mean, I've been kind of dabbling with it for the last last few days, and basically, I mean, it's dead easy. You don't even have to set the thing up. You just basically run the thing. You point to, you know, your emulator. So you point to like the SNES. Tell it, you kind of browse to where the actual SNES emulator is, and then you browse to where the games are, and then it just basically scans your computer. So yeah, really nice. It's an excellent front end. You know, if you just want everything all in one place, and even stuff like Steam and all that, you can also have everything running sort of full screen as well. So really nice, and it's completely free. I mean, you can get what's called like the big box edition, where it's almost like a, how would I describe it? You can control the whole thing using an Xbox 360 controller. It's all, the whole Windows interface is kind of hidden, so that all you're using is this this front end, and you know, you get videos of games and pictures and instructions. I mean, it's a fantastic thing. I'll try and put the link to it below, and you can go and check it out. So that's that. Gaming wise, that's all I've really been doing. Now I've only got the one. In fact, no, I've got two. This one isn't going to really go on for very long, and I've called it Retro Gamer Magazine. Why have I given up on it? Now, when Retro Gamer first came out, when would it be? Bloody hell, 10 years ago? I'm guessing it's almost 10 years ago. That's incredible. A decade ago. It was like, for a retro gamer like myself, it was like, you know, a dream come true having this new old magazine. You know, it was written in the style of Zap and Crash, and you know, I bought issue 1 and then I subscribed to it, and you know, I've got every single issue since issue 1, and I really enjoyed the early I wouldn't say episodes, the early editions. What happened was, eventually, I don't know what happened, but I think maybe about 10 or so copies came out. It was going to come out once every 2 months or something, then they were going to make it once every month. But the original publisher, they kind of, I don't know what happened, they stopped producing it after about a year, and then this other company took it over. Now, to be fair to the other company, they have done a cracking job. I mean, they've really, you know, they've made it so professional. But I always kind of favoured the more sort of fanzine look of the original producers that was there, a completely different style. It looked more amateurish, but it kind of reminded me more of like the Zap kind of production values. But so I've got every single copy, I've got every single edition that's ever come out. I mean, it must be up to, I don't know, no idea, 150 copies or something. But I mean, every month I hear the thud of the magazine falling through the door, and rather than open it, I just take it upstairs and put it in a room, into my games room cupboard. And I was actually going through them yesterday, and I've got something like, I've got over a year's worth of magazines that haven't been opened. You know, a year's worth. I'm not talking about 1 or 2 editions, I'm talking about, I think it's more than that. I think it's something like 16 magazines that I've got. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why do you keep subscribing to it? Now I do sometimes think to myself, I'll stop buying it. But then that way I've got a full set. It then means that, you know, I'm not going to have every edition. But then why have every edition when you're not even reading it? But it's just kind of got me wondering why don't I read it anymore? I really don't know. Probably down to kind of lack of time. But I think the last kind of few, or we need to say the last few, I'd probably say the last huge number of them that I have looked at, I don't know, they seem to be kind of going over old ground, and some of the stuff that they're kind of covering now I don't have any real interest in, I should say. But yeah, to have a year's worth unread, it's probably a bit stupid. I should probably just cancel it, but there's a bit of me thinking that they're going to stop producing the magazine, and I'll be like 2 issues short of having the full collection. And you know, part of me is thinking, yeah, I don't read it, so why'd I buy it? And you know, I don't read it because I'm kind of getting bored with it. But then I think to myself, well, if I don't know, this sounds daft, I would be sad if Retro Gamer wasn't there, because that is the only magazine that you can actually buy that's relating to old systems nowadays. I mean, I don't buy any magazines other than Retro Gamer. So yeah, we shouldn't complain too much, because Retro Gamer, they're doing a service, they're putting out a magazine covering old systems. I mean, I would say that it's probably one of the most definitive bits of writing on this whole industry of ours. You know, they've really gone to town, they've really got some fantastic interviews with various people. I mean, I think the problem is they do go real in depth into some of the systems they cover, some of the, you know, the people they talk to. And I think for me, if I don't particularly like the game they're looking at, or the system they're covering, then I tend to kind of flick past that article, and that's possibly why I haven't been reading them. But I really should sort of dig them out. I mean, I noticed, I think, was it the latest issue somebody posted on Facebook, is it the top 100 or 150 video games of all time? I think it's all classic games, so what I really need to do is open that one up, rather than kind of think, well, I need to look at, if I'm going to start reading that, I need to look at the magazine from, you know, a year ago. But because all the stuff that they're covering is basically old, there's no benefit to reading them in order, so I should really get the one I want to read and open it and bloody read the thing, if that makes any sense. Right, okay, I've only got, in fact, you know what, before I read out, go over my one question, my one topic I want to talk about, as anybody that follows my channel will know, I'm quite an impulsive person when it comes to buying something. I see something, I'm one of these guys, I've always got to have something that I'm looking to get. You know, I'm not a collector as such when it comes to games, but there's always some bit of tech or some console or something, whatever it might be, that I want to get, and it tends to become a bit of an obsession with mine to try and, you know, I won't rest until I've got that, and then I want something else. It was, I'm on a forum, Way of the Rodent forum, and one of the guys, he was going on about this, you know, virtual reality thing, and it was in the Android thread, and I've got an iPhone, so I wasn't paying too much attention, but I happened to go in and sort of have a wee read at what he was talking about. And at first I thought he was talking about this Google Cardboard, which I've kind of featured before. Google Cardboard is like the Pound Stretcher's version of Oculus Rift. It's actually made of cardboard, and you can put an Android phone in, and you can basically get a sort of virtual reality. So I thought this guy was talking about this Google Cardboard. Then I realised that he wasn't. He was talking about this VR thing from Samsung. So I started reading more about what he was saying, and it turns out, and watching a few videos, it turns out that Samsung have brought out this kind of headset. Now it's actually been designed by some of the some of the guys that worked on the Oculus Rift have actually gone across and helped design this thing. So, you know, it's from a good pedigree. So this VR headset, it's released by Samsung. Now it only works in a Samsung phone. You know, you can't just put an iPhone or an LG in, it's got to be a Samsung phone. Now, I was reading more and more about it, and you know, I mean, I was talking to my mate sort of through Messenger type thing, and he just, you know, I said, how good is it? How does it compare to Google Cardboard? He says, oh, it's 1,000 times better than Google Cardboard. So if you're impressed with Google Cardboard, you'll get your socks blown off. Now, what he was basically saying was, you know, they've got, it's called as the Oculus Cinema, whereby you can actually watch films in a cinema. Now, he said it is realistic as you could possibly imagine. He says you're sitting there, you're in a massive cinema, the screen's like 30 foot. He says when the film comes on, he says if you turn your head, you're even getting the light of the screen reflecting off the seats, of the leather seats. He's watched a few films in it. He says it's absolutely mind-blowing. And apparently it's at Netflix, you can watch Netflix on it. And a lot of the films are in complete 3D, so you know, it just sounds incredible. I was watching a YouTube video, sorry, that's my daughter outside, but it's not. I was watching a YouTube video of a guy sort of covering it, doing a wee review in it, and he was showing off some of the games in it, or not the games, there was this one where it's like you're in a cinema, not a cinema, you're in a circus, and you know, you're seeing the performers performing, and he says you are there. He says you put a set of headphones on, you for all intents and purposes you are actually in this circus. He says you're turning around, you're looking behind you, you can see people behind you, you're looking up, you can see the ropes and all that kind of stuff. He just says it's absolutely mind blowing. So anyway, that got me thinking, you know, oh, I really fancied that. I mean, I had a Google Cardboard and I thought it was brilliant, but then when I got rid of my Android phone, I couldn't obviously use it, so I gave it to my pal. But it's got me thinking, it's got me wanting to get it. Now obviously, you know, it's a lot of money. I mean, in fact, I'm completely missing a point. The price of this VR headset is $79.99. Oculus Rift has just come out. It came out, was it last week I think it was, and they're wanting something like £600 for it. This thing is £80. But the big but is you need a Samsung phone, which I don't have. So I've been looking at quite a few reviews on YouTube. I've been doing like iPhone 6 compared to the Samsung blah blah blah, and it seems to me that the Samsung phone, for all intents and purposes, is the better phone than iPhone 6. I mean, my phone, I've not even had it a year. You probably think I'm absolutely mad to be trying to sell it, but I've only had it 10 months. But I mean, the iPhone 6 came out over a year ago. So this Samsung phone, it's a Samsung S6 I think they call it. It looks absolutely incredible. Now, I'm one of these guys, I like to kind of change my phone fairly kind of regular. So I was going to get the new iPhone, but then it got me thinking, do I really want to fork out, you know, I don't know, £200-300 to get the latest iPhone, and the only real difference is a couple of minor things. I mean, my daughter's got the latest iPhone, that was her birthday Christmas, and I've got to say there's really no difference between that and the phone that I've got. Now, what I tend to do with phones is, if I own an Android phone, the next phone that I buy will be an iPhone. Then after that I go back to Android, then back to the iOS phone, the Apple phone. That way I feel like I'm getting a new phone, whereas if you just get an upgrade, it really doesn't feel like you're getting anything for your money. So anyway, yep, I'm trying to buy a Samsung S6, but the one thing I need to do is sell my iPhone 5. So I've got it on Gumtree, I've got it on YouTube, I've got it on, bloody hell, where have I got it? I've got it on Gumtree, I've got it on eBay, I've got it on one of the local sort of Facebook pages. If anybody, by the way, if anybody is interested in buying an iPhone 6, it's an iPhone 6 Plus, which is the bigger one. It's 64 gig of space. It is in immaculate condition. It's been in a protective case from day one. The only scratches it's got, and they're very, very light, are on the back casing, and obviously it's inside a plastic case, so there's tiny wee scratches on the back, but apart from that, it's in absolutely superb condition. It's unlocked, so you can pop any sim you want into it. If you are interested, then ping a comment below, or else send a message, and I'll certainly give you any more details. But yeah, that's what I want to get. I want to sell my iPhone, get this can't even bloody remember the name of it, the Samsung S6, there's different versions of it. I get one of these, and I want to get this VR headset because it looks the dog's bollocks. So yeah, that will be my big purchase. But saying that, if I can get what I'm hoping for my iPhone, it shouldn't cost me much to actually get the new Samsung. I mean, I would even take a second-hand one as long as it was in good condition. Right, okay, I've only got the one sort of thing to talk about. Now, one of the first, if somebody is wanting to make a YouTube channel, one of the most common bits of advice that a YouTuber, and I count myself in that as well, one of the first bits of advice that I would give to somebody wanting to start off a channel is to always make videos that you want to watch. You know, you don't make videos that you think somebody's going to want to watch. It's got to be something that you would watch yourself, and that is how I base my channel. I mean, I used to watch all my videos back because I quite enjoyed them. You know, it's not from a vain point of view. I like listening to people talking about old systems and games and whatever it is. So that's been my philosophy. I have always, any videos that I make things that I would like to see, and hopefully other people will enjoy it as well. So with that in mind, one of the sort of features, if that's the right thing to call it, it's called They Did What. And what I basically do is I take a sort of classic, usually an 8-bit company from back in the day, back in the sort of early 80s, mid 80s, whatever it is, and I just look at some of the adverts they put out, and I kind of have a wee play of some of the games. Certainly not all the games, because some of the companies I've looked at, you know, they've produced hundreds of games. And one of the games that I put out, one of the companies that I put out this week in fact, it's a company called Interceptor Software. Now they were one of the very, very early 8-bit producers. They put out a lot of stuff in the VIC-20, Commodore 64, Spectrum, Amstrad. Now most of their games were garbage, you know, and this is probably going to lead on to what I'm going to talk about. Most of their games were pretty shit, but you know, it doesn't matter if games are rubbish or not. I love looking back at companies, and you know, it's a whole nostalgia thing. I mean, Stuart Ashens, who's a very, very successful YouTuber, he put out a book at Christmas time, and it's something like the top 50 worst games you've never heard of, and it's a brilliant book, it really is. So games don't have to be good to be interesting to talk about, but anyway, I'm going away off on a tangent. So Interceptor Software, I put together a video. Now, I've got to say, I don't mind admitting, it took me probably, I don't know, I would say it probably took me about 6 hours all in. Now, I don't know if that's a lot of time for some people, but for me that's a lot of time. I mean, you're trying to fit it in around what you're doing, working, and your family, and you know, you need to get peace and quiet. I mean, to actually make the video, I had to film my adverts, I was talking over it, I had to video the clips, and because I was trying to kind of record the clips when my wife was downstairs watching TV, I was recording the video, I was playing the actual games, then I was going back and doing the video. But anyway, it took me, I reckon it probably took me about 3 nights and about 6 hours all in to actually make this video. And one thing, in fact that's another topic which I'm going to talk about in a minute. In fact I'll skip over this a little bit, but anyway, I got the video finished and I put it out for like public viewing about 3-4 days ago, and don't get me wrong, I've had quite a few, I think I've had about 6 likes, but I mean, I don't know what number of views. The number of views has actually been not very much, or shall I say it's been quite disappointing, the number of views that the video's had. Now it's kind of got me thinking that probably because a lot of people, other than people like myself who were in video games right back in the day, they've probably never even heard the Interceptor software. So that's probably a big reason why it's got quite low views. And it's only got 2 comments, I think it is, and both 2 are by one person and 1's by myself. So yeah, I don't mind admitting I was quite excited about getting this video put out. I mean, I did take a hell of a long time to put it together, and then I put it out thinking, oh, I really couldn't wait to see the sort of reaction to it, and people enjoying it, and to have such a low number of views has been a wee bit disappointing. Then on the flip side of that, about a week ago, I was watching the Shadows Knows YouTuber, and he was playing this really crap Amiga game, or it's out for ST as well, Yolanda it's called. Absolutely god awful game. And because it looked so bad, I thought I would give it a 10-minute mashup. So I played this game for 10 minutes and it is absolutely shite. Now, to record that video, it took me 10 minutes. That was it. No preparation, nothing. Straight in there, dived straight in, played the game, was talking while I was playing it, saying this is crap, this is awful. And my goodness, I think I've got something like 200 views in it. It's proved to be so popular, and so that was last week, and then this week I put out a video that I take about 6 hours to put together, and it gets probably about a quarter of the views. So it just goes to show that there's no real rhyme or reason as to what will make a video successful. I mean, I know Steve Benway, he put together a sort of tutorial on how to get the Raspberry Pi up and running with video games, and I think it's outrageous. It's got something, it's something like, I don't know, 10,000 views. It's something outrageous, and he says he couldn't believe the number of views. But then I can understand that, because the Raspberry Pi is obviously something that's really current at the moment. There's a lot of people probably googling it, and I know if I ever do anything like that, I'll always look up YouTube to see if I can find something, a tutorial. So I can understand that being popular, but it's weird how every now and again you'll put out a video and for whatever reason it'll prove to be really popular. Then other times I put out what I think is a really entertaining video and it's just kind of falls flat in its face. But I think maybe sometimes for me, I've just said to you that you should always put out videos that you want to watch, and that's true, but sometimes I think, and maybe this is the case in point with this one, it's something that's maybe a wee bit too personal just to me, so that video doesn't have the same effect or reaction with other people. So that's possibly the reason for it. But I don't know really what I'm talking about here. I've got no real point to it other than it's just it's an interesting observation that you can sometimes put out what you think is a really well produced video. It's taken a long time to record and edit and all that kind of stuff, and it might not get very many views, and then you can put out a video that's rushed with no thought to it at all, and it can prove to be really popular. So yeah, I don't know really what the point I'm trying to reach with this, other than it's one of these things. But the other kind of bit that I was going to talk about just when I'm talking about it just now is the video I'm talking about. It took hours and hours and hours. What I did was I kind of did all the sort of recording side of things, all like the video game footage, recording adverts and all that kind of stuff. I did all that, music, I had all that prepared. Then what I did was I basically watched the video back and I did a kind of commentary over it. So when I was talking, I wasn't actually playing the game. I was kind of going back in after to do the kind of commentary. And I listened back to it and I thought that's perfect. So I then produced the video. I let the software do the producing, and then I deleted all the files, as you do, because I thought looks fine. Then when I went to watch it back, I couldn't believe it, but the volume of my voice wasn't loud enough, which meant that you could hardly hear my voice in a lot of it because of the stupid, I had the music in the games and what have you, music and sound effects, and the volume of that was turned up too loud, which meant a lot of the talking that I was doing was lost. Now I managed to I was fanning about with the software and I managed to get it a wee bit better. It's still not perfect, it's absolutely not perfect, and I must admit I was absolutely gutted when I first played it back. I thought I couldn't believe it. I'd gone to all this bother to try and put out this video that I thought was going to be really enjoyable, and I basically made an arse of it. It's the point of this is, I'm not quite sure, but before you delete files, for goodness sake, watch it back. I used to always watch all my videos from start to finish before I would actually sort of publish it. Now, when you say it's not because I'm getting cocky. I've not got time to watch my stuff, and I'd rather watch somebody else's video than watch my own, but I tend to watch maybe just a few minutes of it when I'm kind of putting it together, editing it together to make sure it looks alright. But it's kind of taught me a lesson. You should never ever delete files without actually watching back the finished product. I tried to, after I realised I'd made an arse of it, I tried to recover the files, but I found out that if you use it as an SSD drive, when you delete from an SSD drive and empty the bucket, the files are gone. Whereas if it's an old sort of like IDE drive, a mechanical drive, it's different. All the IDE drive does is it kind of overwrites the wee flag, but the files themselves are still there. But with an SSD drive, the files are gone. But I downloaded this free bit of software and tried to get the files back, but it was a complete waste of time. So, lesson learned, never ever delete files of videos. In fact, it doesn't even have to be making videos. It can be anything you do on a computer. Make sure you're happy with the finished product before you go ahead and delete files, because I was certainly caught out big style. So, yeah. Right, excuse me a wee second. I'm not drinking iron brew, I'm drinking nice healthy Morrison's own orange juice. Right, I've only got one question, and it's from Kev down the rabbit hole. Thank you very much, Kev, for the Friday Waffle. Hi Alan, and a happy new year to you. Happy new year to yourself, Kevin. You're a big fan of Mame and the ZX Spectrum game Mamemeister. I know you filmed yourself playing Mamemeister in the Lost Levels for the Nintendo DS last month. Have you heard of the Mamemeister? Someone modded the original Pac-Man hardware to play Mamemeister, a pretty impressive feat. From what I hear, it's playable in Mame. I might try it this weekend. That's actually really funny, Kev. Talk about a coincidence that you're actually mentioning that, because I know the very person that wrote that game, and I was actually in touch with him last week, asking if I added him, or I sent him a friend request and he's accepted it on Facebook. I sent him a message last week asking if he would like to take part in the Blind Mates Only, and he's very graciously said he would like to take part in it. I have to get back to him. So I said to him, look, we'll get a new year and Christmas out the road. So I'm going to be talking to him hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Now he goes by the name of Jim Bagley. Jim was, or still is, a software programmer. He did quite a few Spectrum classic games. I think he did Midnight Resistance, plus a lot of other games, and he was also the clever person that through the power of an SD card he managed to get Dragon's Lair, the big Laserdisc Dragon's Lair arcade game. He managed to get that running on a ZX81 using basically streaming the graphics from an SD card. So Jim is an incredibly clever programmer. From what I gather, one of my mates is quite pally with him. Apparently he's an absolutely top bloke. He comes from Liverpool. So yeah, it's really funny you mentioned that, Kev. When I'd already spoken to Jim through Facebook, and then I think a couple of days later I saw your question and I thought, my goodness, I'm sure it was Jim that did that. So yeah, I shall, if and when hopefully I get Jim on the channel in the next couple of weeks, I shall make a point of talking about that game and asking how the heck do you get Mamemeister onto an arcade game. Pardon me, But I've not tried it. I will make a point. I'll obviously make a point of playing all the games that Jim's programmed. So yeah, that was quite a coincidence. I mean, you could have picked anybody, and you picked the one person that I spoke to just 2 days earlier. So really looking forward to getting Jim on the channel. But yeah, that's it, guys. I don't really have much more to talk about. Channel wise, you've probably noticed that I'm putting out 3 videos a week now. You know, I think that is more than plenty. You've got your Friday Waffle, which is usually a Friday or a Saturday depending on what's happening, and then you've got a couple of, you know, I try and put out a kind of feature type thing, and then maybe a Friday, what do you call it, a 10-minute mashup. So yeah, I mean, as anyone that's followed the channel for any length of time will know that I'm always thinking of new features, you know, and I mean, there's been quite a few of them that have been quite successful. I've got stuff like Arcade Perfect My Arse, Blimey It's Only when I talk to kind of famous people. Arcade Perfect, I've already spoke about Arcade Perfect My Arse, bloody hell, what are They Did What, where I look at software companies. That was the year that was, where I look at arcade games from a certain year. Now I've kind of ran out of years in arcade. I think I was up to 1995 or 1996, which to me was the arcade scene had absolutely died in its arse by that 1996. So I've kind of gone as far as I can with arcade games. But somebody was suggesting, and I mean, I think I'd actually mentioned before that I was going to do this. I'm going to start doing a, that was the year that was, but looking at, say, the Spectrum, so 1984, look at Spectrum games, or I may do Spectrum and Commodore 64 games, whatever, you know, I'll pick a system, but there's definitely mileage still in that. It's always good fun to make, and it's quite a good record of kind of the year, you know, different games that came out. So I'm still going to be doing these kind of features, but one thing you might have noticed that I've been doing over the last couple of months, rather than sticking rigidly to a particular video type, I've just, if there's anything that's kind of got my interest, I'm just putting out a random video. I mean, I had a very kind subscriber, you know, commenting, saying how much he enjoyed the Amiga shoot 'em ups, and I'd actually forgotten I'd done 3 of them. I'd done like part 1, 2 and 3, so just because I read that, I thought, oh, I'm going to have a look and see if there's anything else Amiga wise I can do, and you know, there's still 100 shoot 'em ups that I could feature in the Amiga, so I did that. And I've done a few other just kind of odd bods, and that's what I'm going to do. I think I don't want to stick rigidly to a plan with the channel. I'm definitely going to keep the Friday Waffle going, because that seems to be, dare I say, the most popular thing that I put out. In fact, I could probably give up video games completely and just talk pish on a Friday, and I'm sure people would still watch. So you're always going to get the Friday Waffle. I will always try and put out some sort of feature related video rather than just me playing a game and doing a commentary, whatever it is. So yeah, stick with it. As usual, guys, I keep saying this every single video, but thank you very much to all the support you've given me over these last 2 years. It's now just ticked over 2 years that I've had the channel going, so I'm just I think I'm just under 480 people, so that's not bad. I'll certainly settle for that. And to anyone that's just joined and, you know, watched the channel for the first time, maybe subscribed, thank you very much for that. If you think you might enjoy watching these videos, please hit that like button, and also subscribe if you want to see more. And very lastly, guys, I think that is it. Thank you very much for watching.